Welcome everybody to Ringside Wrestling Entertainment. This is Joel Perez here for your weekly episodic news show. This is Behind the Mic, episode number 24. And we're talking about all the WWE news. We're heading into Money in the Bank. Right here, we are going to be reviewing Money in the Bank tomorrow night on Sunday after that show goes off of the air. But right now, we're talking about all the news, a lot of it going in to Money in the Bank, but we're talking all the news in the WWE as of right now. This is Behind the Mic, episode number 24, and we've got a lot to talk about. You know what? Other place there is a lot to talk about, and it's the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel, because we had a lot to do this week. We'll go check out the Monday Night Raw and Smackdown reviews that are already up. I have a lot to say in those reviews. Really good stuff right there. Make sure to go check out the video I posted on Tuesday. On Tuesday, we posted news similar to what I would report on Behind the Mic. If you want a little Behind the Mic sampling right there, make sure to go check out the breaking news video I uploaded Tuesday before Smackdown went off the air. It was Braun Strowman back, and he is cleared to go. Could he be interfering in Roman Reigns' segment that he will have next week? Well, we're talking about it in that video, so make sure to go check that one out. On Thursday, I uploaded Money in the Bank preview and prediction, so make sure to go check that video out. We're talking about everything that has to do Money in the Bank, carefully crafted predictions right there about every single thing. We're talking about the builds to that pay-per-view. We're talking about who I think should win, who I want to win, and just all the things concerning that pay-per-view, what I think is going to happen going out of that pay-per-view. So make sure to go check out that video for everything going into Money in the Bank. That truly is your video talking about everything going in to Money in the Bank. And of course, right now, you're watching Behind the Mic. This is your weekly episodic news show. Every single Saturday, you are going to expect a new episode of Behind the Mic. So make sure to subscribe to the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel to not miss any of this good stuff. And of course, tomorrow, we have Money in the Bank review and results after that show goes off the air. So make sure to not miss a thing. You don't have to search around for these videos. They're all linked in the description down below, so make sure to go check all of that stuff out. Subscribe if you like what you're hearing here. Make sure to like all of these videos and comment what you think of them. You're going to tell me what you think of the news. You're going to tell me what you thought of Raw. You're going to tell me what you thought of SmackDown, all under those specific videos, and tell me what you think going in to Money in the Bank. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a lot of news and a lot of weird news. Bayley apparently going into a storyline with Corey Graves, a love storyline with Corey Graves. Jesus Christ, you want a way to make Bayley worse? You have it right there. We've got news on WWE gauging support for possibly holding a Wrestlemania across the sea in London. We're talking about it right here on Behind the Mic. We've got news on Rusev set to make finally his Smackdown Live return. We've got former WWE star rumored to be entering the Money in the Bank, women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Who might it be? We're talking about it here. We've got the reason why John Cena has become a free agent, and I can tell you it's not a logical reason whatsoever. We've got, finally, this is probably going to be the final news story here, unless I decide to add anything on before the end of the video, but Seth Rollins joining Roman Reigns and making a huge announcement on Monday Night Raw. What could that announcement be? You're going to have to watch the video and find out. Let's go right into the news stories right here on Behind the Mic episode number 24. We're starting off here with this news story on Seth freaking Rollins. Who the hell is Seth freaking Rollins? I wonder that every single day we see Seth freaking Rollins, but apparently he has an announcement to go along with what Roman Reigns is saying on Monday Night Raw. So Monday Night Raw, there's actually something to look forward to. That's usually not something I can say, but let's read this article. Last Monday night, Roman Reigns didn't appear on WWE Monday Night Raw, but he did make a Twitter announcement that he would be at Raw this upcoming Monday to make a huge announcement. Roman also teased that fans won't like his announcement on Twitter, but former Shield partner Seth Rollins also plans to make a huge announcement, and the WWE said that Rollins' announcement will come during SportsCenter on ESPN on Monday morning. While Roman Reigns will make his announcement on Monday Night Raw and already said that it is about his SummerSlam plans, Seth Rollins' announcement remains a mystery. However, word is that Seth will reveal on SportsCenter that he is this year's cover star for WWE 2K18. Seth Rollins is an interesting choice for the WWE 2K brand. Last year, the cover wrestler was Brock Lesnar, one of the biggest stars in the company. In 2016, it was Stone Cold Steve Austin, the most popular star from the Attitude Era. The 2 years before that saw The Rock and John Cena, once again, two of the biggest stars in the WWE. Even when CM Punk was a cover wrestler in 2013, he was working an angle as the longest reigning WWE champion in the modern era. The only other wrestler to grace the main game cover was Randy Orton in 2012. Seth Rollins is a former WWE World Champion, but hasn't done much since he injured his knee 2 years ago. Seth did get a high-profile match and win over Triple H at WrestleMania 33 this year, and one has to wonder if the Rollins WWE 2K18 cover means big things are coming for Seth Rollins. The WWE has also had special limited edition covers in recent years with legends of the business, The Ultimate Warrior, Sting, and Bayley Goldberg. All got special editions when they made their returns to the WWE. There's no word yet on this year's special limited edition covers, but Kurt Angle returning to the WWE makes it look like the perfect star is in place to join Seth Rollins on the cover of WWE 2K18. As for Roman Reigns' announcement on WWE Monday Night Raw, it is expected that Roman will demand a WWE Universal Championship title shot against the winner of Brock Lesnar and Samoa Joe at WWE SummerSlam. The current WWE rumors indicate that Braun Strowman will make his huge return during the announcement and set up a match with Roman Reigns for Great Balls of Fire in July, with the winner moving on to the main event of SummerSlam. Seth Rollins is involved in a feud right now with Bray Wyatt, and the two should wrestle at Great Balls of Fire as well. What do I think of this story? Seth Rollins getting the WWE 2K18 cover, it is well deserved. I mean, I understand why you would give it to Seth freaking Rollins. He is very popular. He is a person who does have a lot of name value outside of the WWE, and a lot of people do recognize Seth Rollins. Is this the choice I would have went with? Hell no. Hell no. I would have gave it to somebody who deserves it more than Seth Rollins. I would have gave it to the best wrestler the WWE has in their company right now. A guy who, simply put, is more popular than Seth Rollins, if you ask me, and that's AJ Styles. AJ Styles is the guy I would have put on this cover. If not, probably the other guy who's most recognizable right now with the WWE. It'd be a great way to get heat on Roman Reigns. I would have put Roman Reigns on the cover as well. I mean, yeah, we might be fed up with Roman Reigns spearing guy after guy, burying talent after talent, but you do have to respect the fact that Roman Reigns does put in hard work each and every single week, and he does perform in these house shows, and he does put in as much work as all these other guys. Is he as talented as all these other guys? Hell no, but I would have put Roman Reigns on there because Roman Reigns, whether you like it or not, is going to be the next John Cena. He's not John Cena yet, and WWE, and that's a lot of the problem. They want him to be John Cena right now, but that's not going to happen. That's not going to be the case. There isn't going to be another John Cena until John Cena has decided to hang up his boots, and quite frankly, that is not coming anytime soon, if you ask me. So who would have I put on the cover of this game? If you're asking me, it's AJ Styles. If you're asking the WWE, and if you're asking who has the most popularity and who is the most recognizable and who would get the most heat under being on the cover, it'd be Roman Reigns. I quite frankly wouldn't have thought of Seth Rollins, but I mean, it is a good choice. It is a good choice. You're really putting Seth Rollins, you're giving him an honor, because there's not much more honor that you can give a guy on Monday Night Raw right now. I mean, the Universal title is being kept hostage by Brock Lesnar, and rumors say that he's going to hold it until WrestleMania 34, unless this storyline with Samoa Joe kicks off, and which it has. It really has. It's a wonderful storyline they're putting on there. But unless this storyline becomes a huge success and Vince McMahon decides to change his mind and put that title on a Samoa Joe, really, there is nothing else. There's no other prize that you can give a guy like Seth Rollins, who is on that upper echelon of talent. He's not going to be winning the Intercontinental Championship. I mean, I could see it. It would totally bring value, to the Intercontinental Championship. But as far as an honor for Seth Rollins goes, this is a big one. And if that is what this announcement has to do with, which I think there's zero doubt that it is for anything else, then congratulations to Seth Rollins. That's going to get his face out there. You're pushing these guys even further out there. I mean, I like the fact that you're putting a Seth Rollins on the cover of this video game, because instead of putting a Brock Lesnar or Stone Cold on there just to sell cheap copies of people being like, oh, I know Stone Cold, I know Brock Lesnar, they're in this game, let me pick it up. No, instead of pushing the talent you have right now and getting their faces recognized out there, and when a casual does go to watch WWE, they say, oh, I recognize that guy, he's on the cover of my video game. He's on the cover of my video game. Let's see what this guy got. Let's see if he deserves to be on the cover of this video game. And then they'll see Seth Rollins. They'll be like, wow, this guy's good. They'll become a fan of Seth Rollins because I recognize him in the cover. If he's on the cover, he's got to be some big shot name. So they're going to pay more attention to Seth Rollins. They're going to hold Rollins up to a higher esteem. And when they see what he can do, hopefully Monday Night Raw is booking him good that night. When they see what he can do in that ring, they're going to be like, wow, that guy's good. I like Seth Rollins. I'm going to be a fan of him. So, I mean, really, that's the way you got to put it. Instead of putting a Brock Lesnar, everybody knows who Brock Lesnar is. Instead of putting a Stone Cold, everybody knows who Stone Cold is. I mean, put a person who can use that cover and maybe even get some name value out of it. So, I mean, I like the choice of Seth Rollins. If you ask me, it would have been AJ Styles or Roman Reigns. But Seth Rollins is a good choice, and hopefully the cover looks beautiful with Seth Rollins' face on it. I mean, Seth Rollins isn't a bad-looking dude by any means, so hopefully we will get a nice-looking cover. But, I mean, really what you should be worried about is the quality of WWE 2K18, because I know for play value, WWE 2K17 has zero goddamn value. The only reason I touch that game is because of the fact that I need to record gameplay for my Monday Night Raw and Smackdown reviews. Besides that, I find no use in playing WWE 2K17. But that is an argument for another day. Hopefully they do make these changes for WWE 2K18. And by the way, leave your comments down below if you want me covering everything that comes along with WWE 2K18 over this summer, and when the roster's released, you want me making a video about that, because I would love to cover all that good content. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on to the next news story. We've got news on John Cena. John Cena and his free agency, which when I was watching Monday Night Raw, when I saw that promo package, I wasn't even paying attention. I was writing notes down for the show on my phone, and I'm like, and I see people commenting about John Cena being a free agent. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? But yes, I did see the promo package. They replayed it on Smackdown Live to show this wasn't just a mistake. This is happening, and the reason over here why John Cena is now going to be a free agent has been revealed according to this website over here. After months of speculation, it was revealed that John Cena would be returning to WWE television during a special July 4th edition of Smackdown Live. The expectation is that Cena will be sticking around through at least WWE SummerSlam. If he were only making one appearance, his return would have been booked as a surprise. However, his status on WWE TV is confusing because he's now going to be referred to as a free agent. There have been reports for weeks about WWE officials starting to panic about their ratings and attendance numbers dwindling since WrestleMania. It's been reporting that the company is expecting a huge boost from John Cena's return. Apparently, the powers that be are viewing Cena as WWE's only major draw. Therefore, WWE officials are making him a free agent to ensure he can appear on both Raw and SmackDown Live. A lot of WWE fans are unhappy about this, about John Cena's exclusivity to the Blue brand being ignored. John Cena was drafted just like most WWE superstars, but that fact was simply cast aside without an explanation. On paper, Cena had an interesting thing on SmackDown. In many ways, he was the Brock Lesnar of the brand. But WWE officials have decided that he needs to appear on Raw sometimes to help with dwindling ratings. And you know what that means. Shit television. When WWE is desperate, they produce the shittiest goddamn television known to man. But we're going to talk about that. From a business standpoint, it's obvious why WWE officials would want John Cena on WWE programming as much as possible, especially considering how much mainstream exposure he's created for himself. There's a ton of momentum going for him outside of WWE. His loyalty to the company throughout all his success should be appreciated, because 99% of other performers in his position would leave the WWE. Eva Marie just left because she has a good chance at a career in Hollywood, and she does not have nearly the star power of John Cena. It's unclear how WWE officials intend to use their biggest star on WWE television, but no one should be surprised if he makes regular appearances on Raw, especially if he starts having some new rivalries on the show. However, Cena is still expected to have his major programs on SmackDown Live. There have been rumors about WWE officials planning... Oh my god. I need a drink after reading this one. John Cena versus Roman Reigns for WWE SummerSlam this year, but those have been shot down by some recent reports. Thank God, bro. Thank God for those recent reports, but having Cena as a free agent opens up a ton of possibilities, but the most likely course of action will be to keep John on SmackDown Live to begin a rivalry with Jinder Mahal over the WWE Championship, and eventually bring back Nikki Bella to the brand as well. As of this writing, it's unclear how WWE officials intend to book the couple after their big proposal together on the grandest stage of them all. The two may be kept apart on WWE programming going forward, but the pair will receive a lot of attention through their wedding. There are quite a few balls in the air, great balls of fire in the air, regarding the return of the 16-time WWE Champion, but it's something officials still have several weeks to figure out. The company has taken quite a financial hit during Cena's absence. As a result, they want to double down on him while he's back on WWE television. It's understandable why the powers that be would do that, but a lot of people simply want an explanation why he became a free agent on WWE programming. Plot holes have always been a part of WWE, but it's not too much to ask for a reason why. Even without reason, WWE fans will be thrilled to have more John Cena. The potential of having him on Raw is very exciting for most fans. What do I think of this? I think this is a complete clusterfuck, idiotic bullshit move by the WWE. John Cena, Brock Lesnar, all these guys, bro. All of these guys. These are not the key to solving your goddamn ratings. And how many times do I need to goddamn say this? The key to fixing your goddamn ratings is putting on consistent, good quality wrestling television, bro. And what do we get every goddamn week? Last week on Monday Night Raw, we got a goddamn bear dancing around, wiggling his goddamn ass in the ring, tag teaming with the Intercontinental Champion. And you're asking yourselves why these ratings are falling. This was a show that Brock Lesnar was on, for your information, and not even he could save this show from getting a 1.75 rating or whatever the hell it was this show, goddamn God. Because Jesus Christ, your television's awful. Your television's awful to the point I come on here every single goddamn week and trash on it. And I shit on every single thing you do on Monday Night Raw. Because your television, everything you put on a Monday night is the epitome of awful. It is the worst goddamn television show on the entire of television right now. That's how far I'm going. That's how far I am going. Monday Night Raw is the worst television show on television right now. Jesus Christ. That show is awful. Yet they continue to blame it on the absence of Roman Reigns, on the absence of a Brock Lesnar. Well, Brock Lesnar was on Monday Night Raw last week, and not even that was able to save your goddamn ratings. So what are you going to say now? What are you going to say now? Now they want to blame it on John Cena. Watch John Cena come back. He's coming back on July 4th to Smackdown. That's a holiday. That's a holiday. So if anything, your ratings are even going to go lower that day, bro. I predict that they're even going to go lower because nobody's going to want to watch Smackdown live. No, not on July 4th. Everybody's going to be partying, drinking, celebrating the fact that they don't have to sit through 3 hours of Monday Night Raw like they did last year, because Monday Night Raw on July 4th last year was, oh my lord. Don't even get me started, bro. Do not even get me started with that Monday Night Raw. The reason your ratings are dropping is because your television is awful, bro. It is awful. Not because there's no John Cena, not because there's no Roman Reigns, not because there's no Brock Lesnar, not because of this, not because of that. It's because your ratings are, your television is dog trash. And until you bring some consistency into what you are doing on your television show, there is no fucking way that anybody is going to tune in to a Monday Night Raw every single goddamn week, because nobody who is watching this show somewhat casually wants to torture themselves in that manner. That's why your ratings are goddamn dropping. There's no reason for John Cena to be a free agent. It makes no goddamn sense. He was drafted to SmackDown. You didn't address it in the Superstar Shakeup, which was the last time you had the chance to address John Cena being a free agent. So that's it. you fucked up, and now John Cena is going to be a free agent, and nothing is going to change because John Cena has nothing to do with the ratings. Shinsuke Nakamura, Brock Lesnar, this guy, Roman Reigns, that guy, they have nothing to do with the ratings. It's your television. It's the fact that the Bear is teaming with an Intercontinental Championship. It's the fact that Alicia Fox was on goddamn FaceTime with Noam Dar, yelling like an old goddamn hag. It's the fact that your show is fucking terrible. And until something changes, nobody, and I mean nobody in their right mind, except me, because I'm a goddamn idiot, right, is going to tune in to your television show. That's why the ratings are dropping, and there's no need to have John Cena be a free agent. Let's move on here. Rusev is set to make his return on Smackdown Live. I've been waiting for this news for quite a while now. As the Money in the Bank pay-per-view approaches, WWE fans anticipate a big return following the event. According to PW Insider Elite's former United States Champion Rusev is expected to make his return to the WWE on the upcoming episode. This will be his first appearance on the Blue brand since getting drafted there during the Superstar Shakeup. Whoa, so exciting. Since earlier this year, Rusev had been out of action due to a shoulder injury that required surgery. This move was promising for the Bulgarian Brute because as a result of being in a feud with Enzo and Cass that did not increase his overall stock at all, as well as getting destroyed by the Big Show on his final pay-per-view, Fastlane, on March 5th. Since then, WWE has been finding ways to get Rusev back on television before the rush of putting the WWE Championship on Jinder Mahal. Rusev appeared to be in top contention. For weeks, Rusev was sending messages to SmackDown Live Commissioner Shane McMahon demanding to be put in the WWE Championship match at Money in the Bank. On May 9th, Rusev even sent a video message to Shane McMahon promising that he would return the following week. However, Rusev sent a tweet following his expected return stating that he was at the Nashville Predators NHL playoff game. So he obviously was not on SmackDown, and that left all of us just fucking in a doozy. So when Rusev returns, there is a possibility that he will still be involved in a feud with Shane McMahon over having a title shot. Having a match with Shane at a big pay-per-view, perhaps SummerSlam, could immediately give Rusev a very prominent spot on the roster. The other issue that Rusev could be facing is the current women's division push that his wife Lana is receiving. Whether if she wins the SmackDown Live Women's Championship or not, it seems as if she will be a solo act on the show and no longer directly linked to Rusev. The positive aspect of Rusev being alone is that he can truly receive strong heat. Although Lana at first assisted him in that, she ended up being a bit of a hindrance due to the fans cheering her. Now, since Rusev has shown that he can play a strong villain, he will have a clean slate to build on his character upon his SmackDown Live debut. This is long overdue. SmackDown Live can totally use a goddamn talent like Rusev. I mean, look at the talent that SmackDown Live is just not making use of. You've got American Alpha, Ty Dillinger, Luke Harper, Rusev. Imagine all these mediocre shows, and you really do have to consider them mediocre shows. Look at all these mediocre shows we're getting from SmackDown over the past couple weeks leading up to Money in the Bank. The forced use of a Shinsuke Nakamura. I mean, why is Shinsuke Nakamura in a six-man tag? Why is Shinsuke Nakamura in a tag team match on SmackDown just blended in like this other goddamn piece of shit roster member who nobody gives a fuck about? Copy and paste storylines. Fuck that. Nakamura is not supposed to be in those type of storylines. Nakamura is supposed to be a special attraction because he's above everybody else. And a lot of people working in WWE, Triple H, know that, and they're pissed off over the use of this talent, and so am I. So am I, because Shinsuke Nakamura doesn't need to be on SmackDown every week. Meanwhile, we got Ty Dillinger over here looking for perfect 10 weeks off of SmackDown. Probably already hit that number. Jesus Christ. We got Luke Harper, who was doing fantastic stuff before WrestleMania. Remember that match he had with Randy Orton at Elimination Chamber? Absolutely fantastic. But we've got Luke Harper, who was doing fantastic stuff before WrestleMania, not even featured on the show anymore. And we've got Rusev, who can be your top heel on SmackDown Live, a guy who's fantastic in the ring, very, very good on the mic, doesn't need Lana on the mic, and these guys aren't on the show. Meanwhile, you're forcing Nakamura onto the show every week. Yes, you are going to need to build Rusev up a little bit, because last time we seen him, and this isn't to be forgotten, last time we seen Rusev, he was goddamn being beaten by the goddamn Big Show in a terrible goddamn match. So yes, you are going to need to build him up a little bit, but Rusev can be a prominent role. He can have a very prominent role on SmackDown Live, and he can fix this problem you're having of having to force Nakamura in every single week just to hopefully make your show better, because it's not. If anything, it's making your show worse, and it's hindering Nakamura as a character. So, I mean, instead of making all these small tweaks to Nakamura's character and forcing him on the show every week and blending him into everybody else, I say you bring a Rusev out, bring in a Rusev, bring in a Harper, bring in a Dillinger, and Rusev, now that he is being rumored to return next week on SmackDown Live after Money in the Bank is all said and done. Maybe he'll be in the Money in the Bank ladder match. WWE has done it before. Remember when The Miz came back from shooting Marine 4 or 3 or whatever the hell it was, and it was a surprise entrant in the Money in the Bank ladder match that year. They can do that with Rusev. They can very well do that with Rusev. But I was very excited to see Rusev back when it was originally announced. And when he wasn't back, I was very disappointed. So hopefully Rusev will be on SmackDown Live next week, and he will be back to his reign of dominance. And hopefully they do put him right in the WWE Championship feud, because he's not going to win it. He's not going to win it, but I would love to see what Rusev can do in a big profile feud. And I can certainly be more invested in a Rusev than I can a Jinder Mahal. I can tell you that much. But Rusev will be back, and I cannot wait to see it. So, people, you leave your comments in the comment section below. What do you think SmackDown should do with Rusev? I say put him in the WWE Championship feud, because, I think Jinder Mahal is walking out of Money in the Bank, so maybe he won't be in the Championship feud, because Jinder Mahal's walking out of Money in the Bank with the WWE Championship, if you ask me. And there's no way they're going to do heel versus heel. But I don't know. Rusev, tell me what you want to do with Rusev going out of Money in the Bank when he does return on SmackDown Live next week. And we will see from there. So for now, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on to the next news story. And, hopefully SmackDown Live does the right thing with all this talent. Ty Dillinger, Rusev, Luke Harper, American Alpha. Where the hell are they? Because I have a lot of questions for them. Let's move on. Here, we've got news on a special somebody joining the SmackDown Women's Championship ladder match at Money in the Bank itself. A former WWE star, for that matter. WWE is continuing to make history with their female stars, as 5 of SmackDown's top women will compete in the first ever Women's Money in the Bank ladder match on Sunday night. The participants include Charlotte Flair, Tamina Snuka, Becky Lynch, Natalya, and Carmella, who as of right now is listed as the favorite to win the match. But according to Cage Side Seats, there is a strong chance that a former female star will be added to the match on Sunday night. According to the site, ex-WWE star Maria Kanellis will return to the company after spending several years working for Ring of Honor and TNA Impact Wrestling. We know that WWE has been interested in bringing her back to the company for quite some time. They're also interested in bringing in Maria's husband, Mike Bennett, the Miracle Mike Bennett, for that matter. PW Insider has echoed the Cage Side Seats report, saying that both Kanellis and Bennett are expected to appear on WWE television at some point in the near future. However, the report didn't give a specific date, unlike the report from Cage Side Seats. If Kanellis does return at Money in the Bank, it'll be her first appearance with WWE since her departure in 2010. Also, don't be surprised if she ends up winning the briefcase, as WWE will likely want to bring her in with a bang. And winning the first ever women's Money in the Bank match will certainly get her a ton of attention. The two feuds that have been brought up the most for Kanellis and Bennett have been with Lana and Rusev. Ooh, that would be interesting. And Carmella and James Ellsworth. That would be terrible. Both are possible, with the feud with Ellsworth and Carmella being the more likely of the two, especially if Maria is going to be part of the Money in the Bank match on Sunday. PW Insider also noted that there were plans to start Bennett and Kanellis on television a month ago. However, those plans were pushed back. The couple began working together in Ring of Honor in 2010, and they eventually moved on to Impact Wrestling. They parted ways with Impact earlier this year and have been waiting to start on WWE television ever since. This is definitely interesting. I would personally have had Mike Bennett and Maria go to NXT because, I mean, Mike Bennett has never been in the WWE, and Maria might have quite some ring rust. If anything, I would put Maria in the Smackdown Women's Division, because the Smackdown Women's Division could use the hands, especially more recognizable hands like Maria Kanellis. I mean, you look at the Smackdown women's roster, there's a lot of unknowns. Who the hell is a Tamina Snuka? Nobody gives a fuck about her. Carmella comes out to crickets every goddamn week. Natalya, she's great in the ring, but they really haven't done a lot with her. So, I mean, look at this Money in the Bank ladder match, and it could use some star power. But then again, you consider the fact she hasn't been in a WWE ring in quite some while. You might want to refamiliarize yourself with the WWE and the main roster, or WWE and the way they do production. Mike Bennett could certainly familiarize himself with that. I mean, even AJ Styles says he wishes he would have went to NXT first before coming up to the main roster, because learning everything right from the top, it's hard. Learning the way the cameras work, learning the way the production goes. So Mike Bennett, I mean, I think it would benefit him to go down to NXT. He would have much less of a rocky start on the main roster, and they could eventually become something bigger than WWE even has planned for them. But, I mean, as far as adding Maria to this Money in the Bank ladder match, that's some well-needed star power that can go into this Money in the Bank ladder match. She could spice things up, maybe even win the Money in the Bank ladder match. Do I think that's going to happen? No. Do I think she'll appear in it? 50-50. 50-50. Right now, I just can't imagine Maria being added to... I can't imagine her coming out. I can't imagine her being added to the Money in the Bank ladder match. I just can't imagine it. But at the same time, I can imagine it. And I can see her being a wild card in that match. And I could see the usefulness in her adding some star power to that match. So I don't know. It is the first ever SmackDown Women's Championship ladder match, so it is going to be a historic thing, and I think Maria would want to be a part of that. So hopefully she does get added, because, I mean, 5 is such an uneven number. I mean, you can add a 6. You can add a 6. You can even add a 7th, but is that going to happen? No. So if Maria does get added, it could be a well-needed surprise for that SmackDown Live Women's Championship match. But as for the Miracle, Mike Bennett, yeah, sure, some people pull a miracle and just come up right to the main roster, pick things up real quick, learn all the production, and they are huge successes. But not everybody is an AJ Styles, bro. I say it would benefit him to go down to NXT, learn how WWE does things, tour with NXT, add some well-needed start. Well, if you think about it, NXT is full right now. You got Aleister Black, Eric Young, all these guys, No Way Jose, the Velveteen Dream, Patrick Clark, you got Bobby Roode, you got Hideo Itami, Cassius Ohno. I could go on for days listing talent for you. I mean, Jesus Christ. Maria could definitely benefit the NXT women's division because they're not looking as developed right now. Really, your NXT women's division, the core of that women's division is Ember Moon, Peyton Royce, Billie Kay, and then you got Nikki Cross, Ruby Riott, and Asuka. That's 6 women. I think they could use a nice, well-developed 7th woman. But then again, you think about how the NXT women's roster is going to be replenished after that women's tournament. And, I mean, there's arguments for both. So, I mean, Maria, if she does come in to the SmackDown Women's Championship ladder match, that could be a very, very cool thing to see. And she could be well-needed star power and a wild card in that matchup. But I say Mike Bennett would benefit going down to NXT. But then again, there are arguments for and against that. So we will see. For now, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on to the next news story. Tell me what you think of Maria possibly coming in to the Money in the Bank women's ladder match. Moving on here to probably one of the most interesting stories of the week. WWE considering holding WrestleMania 33 in London, England. Wow. Overseas WrestleMania is by the distance the WWE's network premiere event. WrestleMania 33 was held at Orlando's Certus Bowl in Florida, and the event broke all sorts of WWE records. According to The Sun, WrestleMania 33 attracted a crowd of over 72,000, a record attendance at the Certus Bowl. The WrestleMania 33 crowd spent over $4 million on merchandise, and almost 2 million people around the world watched the show on TV. Only WrestleMania 32, held in Arlington, Texas, provided the WWE Network with a bigger payday. We already know that WrestleMania 34 will be the show of shows, return to New Orleans, but it seems that WWE are giving serious consideration to moving WrestleMania outside of the U.S. for the first time ever, according to The Independent. The fans who flocked to WrestleMania 33 have been sent a survey asking where they would like to see future editions of WrestleMania held, and the survey revealed a list of potential host cities for future editions of WrestleMania. And London, Toronto, and New York were on the list. Please move WrestleMania to New York. I would love to go to a WrestleMania. But, what does this say? Wrestling fans in the UK would doubtless love to see WrestleMania hosted at the refurbished Wembley Stadium in London. The stadium seats over 80,000 people for soccer matches, and additional ringside seats on the soccer pitch would boost a number of higher still. In many ways, London would be the perfect city to host WrestleMania, but there are also some disadvantages. The biggest obstacle facing the WWE, if it decided to hold WrestleMania in London, is probably the time difference between the US and the UK. London is 5 hours ahead of EST, Eastern Standard Time, and 8 hours ahead of Los Angeles Pacific Time. That would mean that if WrestleMania pre-show started at 5 p.m. in London, people in California would be sitting down to breakfast. It's viewing figures, something the WWE Network would be keen to avoid. On the other hand, the WWE Network is pushing hard to expand its market in Asia, as recently reported in The Inquisitor. The promotion of wrestlers like Jinder Mahal and Shinsuke Nakamura is aimed at expanding in the Asian market, so a London start time would be likely to boost viewing figures for WrestleMania in that region. London has great transport links, huge modern stadiums, and plenty of experience in holding huge events. Many US-based wrestling fans may be willing to combine a trip to WrestleMania with a vacation in one of Europe's great cities. London is also a hotbed for wrestling fans, and Triple H has been working to boost the WWE brands in UK. Of course, there's nothing to suggest that WrestleMania will be held in London. The WWE are simply trying to gauge support at this time, but perhaps the time is right. The WWE have not held a major event in London since the highly successful SummerSlam in 1992. And speaking of that SummerSlam, exactly what I wanted to bring up, the crowd and the atmosphere for that SummerSlam in 1992 was just absolutely fantastic. And I feel that you can completely recreate that with WrestleMania whenever it comes to London. I mean, I don't think it's going to happen in the near future just because of the time difference, and that is a big problem. You've got to find the correct time to bring that forward, and I mean, you could have it be like they did for the UK tournament, where we sit down at 3 p.m. and the people in London sit down at 8 p.m. That's what they did for the UK tournament, I believe. It was 3 p.m. here, and it was 8 p.m. there, and it was a 2-hour event, but WrestleMania obviously would be a lot longer. You'd want to start it at 7. So, I mean, I can't imagine sitting down for a WrestleMania starting at 2 o'clock. Same thing with people in the Pacific time. That would be like, what, 11 o'clock for them? Goddamn, to have to wake up that early to watch a WrestleMania, I don't know about that. So the time difference would be quite a big problem, and that's why probably it hasn't happened in London as of yet. But would it be exciting? Hell yes. Would it be cool? Hell yes. Would it be different? Hell yes. Would the atmosphere be awesome? Hell yes. And I mean, there's so many advantages to having WrestleMania in London. That's such a market for WWE that could be expanded upon if WrestleMania was brought there. Just a lot of cool shit that can happen there. So I mean, I don't know if WWE is willing to pursue that. Obviously, it is one of the biggest places WWE could go for WrestleMania. But if you ask me, bring WrestleMania back to New York. I mean, I know they were there for WrestleMania 29, and that was just 4-5 years ago. I'm not even sure. But, I mean, they went to New Orleans for WrestleMania 30, and they're so quick to return to that city for WrestleMania 34. I mean, why can't they return to New York for WrestleMania 35? I mean, I just want to go to a goddamn WrestleMania and not have to travel to a different state. But, because I'm a lazy asshole and you already know. But, I mean, WrestleMania in London, that would be absolutely very, very cool. But, I mean, it would be a challenging way to figure out what the time difference would be. I mean, it would be refreshing, don't get me wrong. It'd be refreshing to not have to sit down at 12 p.m. in the goddamn night having to do a fucking review till 1 in the morning for WrestleMania. Jesus Christ. That was just a complaint I had for fucking WrestleMania 33. That shit went 7 hours goddamn long. Jesus Christ. Don't get me started, bro. Don't get me started. I bought 2 big fucking Domino's pizzas for that event. By 2 hours into the show, that pizza was goddamn gone, bro. That pizza was goddamn gone. And I'm like, alright, it lasted halfway through the show. That's good. I mean, WrestleMania will go only 2 more hours. Little did I know, bro. Little did I know. I got my pizza during the pre-show. I'm like, alright, we're ready for this. And that show went till 12 o'clock in the goddamn night. Go fuck yourself, WWE. The only WrestleMania, by the way, to go 2 days straight. So congratulations to the WWE for that milestone, if that even is a goddamn milestone. So, Jesus Christ, WrestleMania in London, it would be exciting. I would like to see it, but it would be challenging to figure out the time difference for that WrestleMania. So that would be the only challenge. For now, ladies and gentlemen, tell me down below, would you like to see WrestleMania in London, England. That would be very, very exciting. So leave your comments in the comment section down below. Tell me where you would like to see WrestleMania go, and tell me if you would be in favor of seeing and dealing with the time difference here in the United States from London. And if you are from London, and you would just absolutely love it. So leave your comments in the comment section below. For now, let's move on to the next news story. And the final news story, by the way. So let's move on here. We've got your final news story over here from behind the mic. And I saved the most idiot news story for last because Bayley is expected to start a huge romantic angle with Corey Graves. Oh my god. Oh my god. A lot has changed for Bayley since WrestleMania 33. A great deal of the WWE Universe still loves her based on her run in NXT. Many people feel she has the potential to be a huge babyface for WWE someday. A lot of officials feel the same way, but they have no issues forcing even their top stars to get over again on the main roster. However, it's being reported that Triple H is frustrated with Vince McMahon for this exact reason. Bayley is a good example of a wonderful talent from NXT not reaching their potential on the main roster. It is important to remember that her career is far from over, but it is undeniable that she has yet to become the top babyface in the women's division that a lot of people believe that she can be. Her time on Raw has not been without great success. She's been the Raw Women's Champion and left WrestleMania with the title as well. However, it's clear that her character hasn't gotten over with the WWE Universe as it did in NXT. She's been presented as innocent and even childish rather than ambitious and talented. Bayley is a unique character, so it's hard to work that line or walk that line, but WWE officials have booked her into a tough position after she was dominated by Alexa Bliss during their feud. Now the powers that be have an interesting idea for her going forward. On Raw, Bayley was featured in an interview with Corey Graves. She discussed her failure at WWE Extreme Rules a couple of weeks ago and talked about what her goals were heading into the future. She continued to say inspirational things, but the most important moment of the interview came at the end with an awkward hug between her and Graves. It was that exchange that may have said everything about Bayley's next storyline. Apparently, WWE officials could be planning a big romantic angle between Bayley and Graves. Some people may have thought nothing about the hug at the end of the interview. I thought it was cringy as hell and should never be done again, but it may be expanded into an ongoing storyline on Raw. It's been suggested that the idea would hinder Bayley's character even more on the main roster, but WWE officials may be looking to give her character sympathy in other ways outside of the ring. Corey Graves has traditionally been a heel announcer, so he could break Bayley's heart to give her sympathy with the WWE Universe. There's an opportunity for some kind of stalker storyline, which would likely be a heel turn. The other important thing is to realize how much more Corey has been used as an on-air talent. Graves has been active away from the announce table in the text message storyline with Kurt Angle. If the storyline with Bayley comes true, it could mean bigger things for him. The best situation for the angle would be some heat on Graves and sympathy for Bayley. The former could become a big heel announcer. The latter could bring that sympathy into the ring. Sometimes when a performer is in a rut, you have to take a big risk. In the past, WWE officials have killed storylines like this dead in its tracks if it doesn't work very quickly, but there is a chance that it could ruin Bayley's potential as a top babyface. Believe me, Bayley's potential as a top babyface has already been ruined by WWE's terrible booking, but the powers that be are trying to think outside of the box for her. On paper, that means they haven't given up on her. It may take some time before WWE can push Bayley into the position she deserves to be, but they're at least going to try everything they can before giving up. Oh my god. Oh my god. You're going to try everything you can before giving up, but this is the best you come up with. a storyline with Corey Graves and Bayley stalking Corey Graves. I mean, it's simple what you need to do. How hard is it to book Bayley? I mean, seriously, how hard is it to book Bayley? You have her come in, you have her be nice, have her be gullible, and then you have her be screwed over by whichever heel she is feuding with, and that draws the line, that breaks the line. You crossed it, it's over. Bayley puts her serious face on. She puts her game face on when this heel screws her over, and she brings the fight to them and proves that she is one of the best female competitors in that ring, and she's going to win her women's championship or blah 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 or whatever her dream is. Instead, you've had Bayley come in as this pussified loser on Monday Night Raw where, oh, Alexa Bliss beat me and I couldn't get Extreme, but I'm going to keep doing the same thing. I'm going to keep hugging, and I'm going to keep pushing, and I'm going to keep fucking going ahead. No wonder Corey Graves didn't want to fucking hug you, because you're a fucking pussy. You take no risks, and that's the type of character WWE has built for Bayley. A pussified loser who cannot do anything on her own. I'm sick and tired of this bullshit Bayley character when they got it so right on NXT, when it was so simple to understand on NXT. The heel crosses the line, so Bayley goes from being the nice, good girl babyface to bringing it to the edge of the line, to going to that other level, going to that next level, and overcoming the odds, and being the next big thing. That's what Bayley was. She would be screwed over, but she wouldn't take that shit. Now, Alexa Bliss can hit her in the back of the head with the goddamn kendo stick. Alexa Bliss can bring out her old boyfriends and her old best friends and make them kiss on fucking live television and make a Bayley This Is Your Life segment. But what does Bayley do? Absolutely nothing. And that is an absolutely terrible goddamn way to book Bayley. Bayley has been booked terribly beyond belief, and this storyline sounds like the next most awful thing you can do to hinder Bayley's career. If they do this, Bayley is even more dead on the water than she was before, and I mean, you might as well send her back to fucking NXT, because Monday Night Raw clearly has nothing for her, or nothing for anybody for that matter. This sounds absolutely awful, and if it is done, it will be a failurific storyline on Monday Night Raw. That is all I have to say about this. Bayley has been booked terribly, and this storyline is just a continuation of that, if it does come into fruition, which hopefully it does not. For now, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be Behind the Mic, episode number 24. I hope you enjoyed every single thing that you have heard in this video, and if you have, like I said before, make sure to go check out all the other content on the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel. Monday Night Raw and Smackdown reviews for this week are up. On Tuesday, we reported news, if you want even more news, on Braun Strowman coming back from injury. He's cleared to go or to come back to WWE, and he could be interrupting Roman Reigns' segment next week. Thursday, Money in the Bank preview and predictions, and of course what you're watching right now, Behind the Mic. If you enjoyed every single thing that you heard here, make sure to subscribe to the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel to not miss a thing. Money in the Bank review and results coming tomorrow, so make sure to show all your support for the channel leading into Money in the Bank. Like all these videos, comment what you think of all these videos, tell me what you thought of Monday Night Raw under that video, Smackdown under that video, Money in the Bank, what are your preview and predictions under that video, and tell me what you thought of all these single news stories in the comment section below. For now, ladies and gentlemen, make sure to subscribe to the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel. Go check out all the other content on the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel Twitter account, where we live stream with Raw, Smackdown, pay-per-views. I will be live tweeting with Money in the Bank with all these pay-per-views. And you also get notifications on there when I'm posting videos. So make sure to go follow that Twitter account of the same name, Ringside Wrestling. For now, this has been Joel Perez of Ringside Wrestling Entertainment. And this has been Behind the Mic, episode number 24. And for now, I am out of here. Thank you very, very much